Welcome back. Pregame.tv. Ken Thomson, Dave Cokin. College basketball front and center. Week off before the big game, but doubt we're going to do a video on the big game. We'll probably come back next Thursday with another college basketball selection each for the Saturday preceding the Super Bowl. Cokes, I know this is our time of year. We love to get there, double headers, triple headers, whatever it is, just college basketball wall to wall.
Well, and now we're getting to these second meetings. You pop through the schedule each night, you're seeing maybe 3 or 4 same season revenge games now. And there are certain angles that I like to utilize as far as those games go. February is usually my best month in college basketball, so
same here.
Hopefully we'll be getting a little bit of a head start on it because as we're doing this, I'm waiting for the Wednesday night results and definitely had some plays that I like tonight.
All right, and then of course
Thursday night, I should say.
Thursday night, of course. Some of those scenarios, Chuck and I are all over those as far as a good team losing on their home court, going to try and return the favor at another venue. Tried it with Ohio State, didn't work. Didn't try it with Michigan State just because I respected Maryland's home court enough and because it's a young Michigan State team. So those two did not go to form.
No, I didn't play either one of those either. So, it's not an automatic play by any means. You got to put a lot of other factors in, but it's a jumping off point at least where I want to look to see if revenge might really matter.
All right, my first play is going to be concerning the Big Ten. And Richard Pitino looked like the team was going fairly well going into conference play. They've lost a bunch of them, a lot of close ones,
It's tough to say what the problem is because they look like they ought to be better than they are. But something hasn't meshed on that team. And I'm not there. I'm not going to practice, so I don't exactly know what it is. It's kind of like, I can look at UNLV and say the same thing. They ought to be better than they are, but for some reason they're not. Well, Minnesota is a team where they ought to be better than they are, but they're not. Off another tough loss to Nebraska, a game that could have gone either way the other night. We'll see how they come through in this matchup against a kind of beat-up Illinois squad. But I'll tell you what, Illinois, great down the stretch against Purdue on Wednesday. And that was a good win for that team. And I also think that Gross completely outcoached Painter down the stretch in that contest. I don't know if he can do that to Pitino here.
There you go. Gross did a nice job at Ohio, got that promotion, so to speak. They lose Abrams prior to the season really getting going, and then you lose Rayvonte Rice.
Well, that was a bigger loss. Although the funny thing is on Rice, if you look at his stats from last year, his overall stats were very good, but his Big Ten conference stats weren't that good. He was more dominant in non-conference games, so maybe they're not missing him as much as it might appear.
See, and that's a good thing because a lot of times, a lot of these guys, if you just look at the initial stats, you're going to go, oh, this guy's getting 18 points a game. You look in conference play, the guy might be getting 8 points.
Yeah, this is why I like, once we've got 5 or 6 conference games in for teams, I'll just use conference-only stats. I don't care what happened in December because a lot of coaches treat that as a preseason, and you just can't sometimes get a consistent read on teams. So I think the more reliable stats at this time of year are conference play only stats.
And also, to me, it's got to be a Division I game. If I'm looking at home record, I don't care if you're 9-0 and you got wins against St. Catherine's. That doesn't count.
No, they sure don't. That St. Catherine's is not good, by the way.
All right, it's going to be my free play. It is Illinois at Minnesota on Saturday. Again, we're doing this Thursday night. Lines are not out. Using Dave Cokin's power rankings, have it right around Minnesota as a 6-point favorite. And I'll go ahead and I'm going to make it official. I'm going to go with Minnesota. I just have a feeling, every now and then you get a gut feeling that a team is tired of losing close games and that they will play 40 minutes. And I know this Illinois team is playing as well as they can without Rayvonte Rice, but I think Richard Pitino gets their attention, and I think this team from the get-go goes and blows out Illinois. And I know Illinois will play hard, and they still have some athletes. They have some players. But this is a game, if everybody's on the same page, the crowd will still be into it. They know their backs are against the wall. If they want to make the NCAA tournament, they can't stay mired where they are next to last place. Only Penn State behind them in the Big Ten. So they're going to have to do some damage. They're going to have to win every game at home inside the conference, and they're going to have to steal some road games as well in order to get back in the good graces of the committee if they need an at-large bid. And I don't think they're going to win the conference tournament. So, again, they'll probably need that at-large bid. But I'm going to go ahead. I'll take Minnesota. I'll lay the 6. I think they can get up by 4 to 6 by halftime and then pound it. And Pitino's going to get into their heads, Dave, that you got to play 40 minutes or you're not going to win in this conference.
By the way, I noticed that Pitino, unlike his dad, who has maintained a full head of hair well into, I guess, close to my age group, it kind of looks like the son didn't get lucky as far as the hair goes. I don't know. I was watching the other night. It's like getting a little thin up there, Richard. So it's the way the cookie crumbles.
When I see him with that hat.
Yeah, there you go.
Years, I'm going to go, that's a Christmas present from Cokin for sure. All right, when we come back, Dave's going to go to the MAC, the Mid-American Conference. We're going to look at Western Michigan, a team taking on Akron. That'll be Dave's free play. We'll talk about it when we come back. Ken Thomson, Dave Cokin, pregame.tv.
This freaking pillow slipping.